on the pyramids in Napoleon Total War. So today we are going to be doing a 2v2, and I'm actually going to be in command of this battle. So I'm going to be controlling the Prussians. Rules for this battle were 1 artillery, max 4 lights, so you guys will be able to see some artillery action, and trust me, it is going to be very, very glorious. Now, my ally over here is going to be in command of the Austrians. His name is Caleb, and let's get right into his army comp. So, for his cavalry, he's got some Hungarian Hussars, some Uhlans, and some Cuirassiers. So very large variety right here. Very good mix-up of elite cav as well as cav-killing units. So very nice there. He's got some Hungarian Fusiliers in the rear. He's got some German Fusiliers in his secondary line. And then his Grenzers up front. You can see he did upgrade a lot of his units, so it means he's going to have a little bit of a smaller army, but that doesn't mean they are not as skilled. And then some more German Fusiliers. So facing us, we have just the tip and elite. This is going to be elite over here. I'm going to link his YouTube channel in the description. Very, very cool guy. Go check him out. He makes some excellent content. So our game plan for this battle were to try and rush this hill. You can see that he's brought Chasseur. So these units can actually shoot from horseback. So I'm going to be cautious of this. And you guys are about to see some extreme skill going on. So what I'm going to try and do to prevent my guys from getting shot is I'm going to actually hide behind this, you can say, buildings right here. And hopefully I'm able to draw those bullets and they're actually going to hit this building. So that's my intent, and I'm trying to do that right now. I'm actually going to try and run around, so trying not to get shot at. And you'll see actually very beneficial. He actually shot his own guys there. So very nice move, and I'm actually going to commit my cavalry now. I know my elite cav can easily deal with these Chasseurs. I guess my lancers now charging in. And it's just going to be a bloodbath for the French cavalry. So he is going to form a square. A smart move here, but he's actually going to be shooting his own cavalry in the back. But one great move Elite's doing right now is he's actually going to be charging into my own line. And see, I'm trying to get my shots off a little late, but he is going to send my guys flying there. He's shooting my guys up a good 20 feet. So great move there. Great counter, and it's actually going to knock my lights out right now. I see instantly dropping them down to 56 guys. So great move there with cavalry. You see just the tip now going to be pushing with some more Chasseurs. So right now I am faced with a 2v1. My ally is trying to push up, but him charging into me right now is causing a lot of damage. And you see he's already getting upgrades with his guys. So he's definitely doing a good job with the cavalry units. So right now, I know I need to form up quickly and get these volleys off. You see my lights are already in formation, and they're going to be engaging these Fusiliers on top of the hill. So right now, it is a battle on who can control this hill. I'm actually going to be sending my own cavalry in now, trying to force him to form square and prevent him from firing. So now I'm going to commit my troops. They are somewhat depleted, so I need to make sure I can kind of balance things out by killing these 3 first line units. You can see his reserves are slowly marching up. You got the Howitzer pushing up as well. My ally, the Austrian player, is also pushing up. Going to be pushing up my Landwehr right now as a meat shield unit, and hopefully draw them into melee. And there goes my artillery, trying to get some good volleys off. Actually targeting the Chasseurs, so decent volley there. So my line infantry did form up. They are getting first volleys, and they are really devastating these ranks. You see more French cavalry pushing in now into my lights. I am pretty prepared this time, forming square at the appropriate times. But you see my lines are a mess right now. Total confusion. And right now I am desperately trying to get my guys into combat. You see I'm still trying to get organized, and I also have to take care of this flank right now, because without my ally here, it's going to be very hard for me to control both sides. So right now I am heavily microing, now pushing up my line infantry, trying to get maximum firepower at this front line. Howitzers pushing in now, actually trying to target his artillery, seeing that he's going to be unlimbering soon. But right now, holding the line fairly well. You see morale for the French player not looking too great, but like I said, he's still doing a fantastic job of spreading out. And there goes his artillery volleys and just ripping my foot guards to pieces. You can see dropping them down to 83 guys. But more lights are being pushed up now, and a line infantry engagement has begun. You see, broke those first 2 line units, so I'm feeling pretty confident I can control this hill, but really worried about this artillery piece. So Going to try and keep the pressure up there. You see, I actually pushed over some musketeers to try and deal with these voltigeurs here from just the tip. You see, I'm doing a pretty good job there. I'm still waiting for my ally to push up. My ally is doing a really good job right now. Getting in range. His guys are tired from running the long distance, but so is his opponent. And this artillery is just shredding my guys. So I know I need to take this artillery out if I want to be successful. And now I'm seeing his light infantry. So right now I am starting to really panic. I know these guys have a fresh reload. So if they get very close to my guys, it is going to be game over. So what I need to do right now is try and get into melee as quickly as possible. I know I'm probably not going to get there, but I'm going to risk my luck and try and get into melee. But one huge mistake I make right here is this point-blank volley. This point-blank volley was just devastating on my line infantry. You can see dropping the morale drastically. He does have reserve lines, so I'm trying my hardest right now to kill off the cavalry, or this lights. Get a nice cav charge in there. I'm actually going to follow through to his artillery. This is actually Caleb's unit, so great job there, charging into the artillery and demobilizing his 6-inch howitzers. So continuing my charge, you always want to do this if you see another unit behind that. And I'm getting into more melee combat. I know my numbers are low, I cannot stress that enough. So right now I'm trying to maximize my melee skills. And you see I'm doing a pretty good job at depleting his light infantry. You can see almost all his lights are pretty much gone at this point. So seeing that, I'm actually going to be pulling back and reforming. Meanwhile, Caleb's going to have his own engagement here. But his artillery is unprotected, and he's actually going to be forced to charge his general in. So big mistake here. He's probably not going to be able to get even a volley off. So not good at all. You see he's kind of facing an uphill battle right now. So not great either. So right now my lines are getting very thin, as you can tell. And soon enough I'm going to be telling Caleb to push in his reserves because my lines are getting very, very low. As for Elite, you can see he's got some Polish Legion pretty much untouched. So once again, I still control the hill though, so that is very important. But right now I'm trying to win in every engagement possible just to make sure I can control this hill. So Caleb's doing a pretty good job right now. What a devastating volley. This artillery is just a game changer. So I'm going to reform my lights. You can see I'm actually getting charged by some Swiss foot right now, and that is not good. So I'm going to try and countercharge here, try and get even bloodshed among him and me. But my line is getting very thin. So right now I'm telling Caleb to push up his German Fusiliers, and he's doing it. So I'm going to try and push my Landwehr in now. But my numbers are getting very, very low. Let's take a look at Caleb's side. This artillery is just devastating. You see the 7E is still surviving. Actually broke the 7-pound howitzers from Austria, and he's actually going to be charging into my own howitzers. Didn't see this at the time, and really wish I had some troops to back them up, but I guess it is too late. It looks like Just the Tip will get that artillery piece. So now Caleb's going to be pushing up his line infantry. I do have some foot guards here, and they're going to get some really nice flanking shots in. We still do control the hill, but once again, another melee bloodbath. You can see a lot of guys in melee combat now. We got the Swiss foot trying to run down the line, trying to prevent the Austrian player from firing. But you can see Austrian player doing a pretty good job of holding the line. He is somewhat outnumbered here, but with my foot guards holding the flank like this, these Fusiliers are going to be no match, and I will end up destroying them. So luckily my artillery did manage to survive. It looks like he tried to charge forward some more troops, and look at this. It looks like he wasn't thinking I could form square, and luckily I did. So this cav unit is in some trouble right now. But that cav charge did break my square, so I'm going to have to shift over some line units to help counter that. You see I'm going to be pushing in my light infantry once again, but this Swiss foot is just still in melee combat. They've been in melee combat for quite some time right now, and I need these guys to break, because right now facing a lot of the Polish Legion is not good whatsoever. You see the Grenzer's still doing a really good job right now. We actually have a melee engagement between some German Fusiliers and Chasseurs, but like I said, the Swiss foot and Fusiliers are behind them. They're going to be slaughtering that unit. So artillery, man, what a huge impact artillery has been playing on this game. So right now, I am microing to the fullest, trying to maximize my potential and how many kills I can get. So right now, I'm going to be reforming in my line of infantry. I know if I push into melee combat, those guys will break. So what I want to do is try and keep up some suppressing fire and shoot these guys from a distance to help out these Austrians in melee. So right now, we still do control the hill, but once again, another massive melee engagement in the center. I'm going to be reforming my foot guards right now. They are very tired from all the combat, but they're still going to continue to engage. So right now, I'm trying to maximize my kills and hold this line, but somehow they did break through, and the Polish Legion is going to charge in. I do countercharge with some musketeers and my general of my own. So not looking good. It looks like the Polish Legion did charge into my foot guards as well. Looks like the Austrian general, or actually my general, is dead. Fought a valiant death, trying to hold his men and keep the morale intact, but lost his own life in doing so. So that is not good. And you can see right here, I'm trying to use this building to my biggest potential, trying to shift around so he wouldn't get a shut off, and I think microing these foot guards, pretty good job here. You see only a couple guys getting shot at, and I'm actually going to return volleys. But right now, not looking good on this hill. It looks like Caleb is being forced to shift over too many units to help aid me, and that was all because of that one silly charge I made. I should have held my charge, seeing that these lights were being pushed up, because that cost me a lot of lives there. And truly a turning point to this game. You can see the Austrian general now trying to do the exact same, but actually losing his own life as well. So, actually, excuse me, we killed their general. I forgot who it was. Who was it? Okay, so the French general, I believe, Elite, his general is dead, so that's going to drop his morale. Somehow the Austrian general did survive, so he's going to be retreating from that. Good charge there into the Polish Legion. It looks like Caleb is going to be taking over my part of the hill now. You can see getting very low on units. Foot guards still trying to hold. This artillery still ripping guys to pieces right now. Extremely devastating. And I still have some artillery here, but only one cannon is going to be functional. And I believe at this point they were a little bit glitched. I wasn't able to get the full firepower. So right now I'm trying to tell Caleb to push up and not fall back. I can see that he's outnumbered on this flank, and we got some artillery to deal with. So a little worried right now. You see my foot guards in melee combat, or not melee combat, shooting combat, and they are outnumbered. My guys are out of ammo, so I have nothing else to do except for charge. So here they go. I doubt they make it to their lines. Yeah, they break. So down to my last unit now, and that is my artillery. So Caleb is going to be taking over, and I believe just the tip is pretty much just the tip and Caleb are the last ones alive right now. Elite has been knocked out as well, so it's down to once again a 1v1. But like I said, with Caleb supporting me, he suffered a lot of losses, as to where just the tip's just been chilling over here with this Polish Legion. So he is doing pretty well. See my artillery, I'm trying to get them in range, and it's struggle right now. So I'm telling Caleb to push up his lice and try and get in range, but I'm also telling him to make sure he does not get into melee, because Elite is a little sneaky sometimes and loves to charge. So I'm telling him right now to retreat, to not let his lice get in melee. They are too upgraded to get in melee. So I'm telling him pull back, pull back, pull back, and it is too late. But eventually he does pull back, but they did get into melee combat, so he's going to be suffering a lot of losses. And you see Elite is going to continue the charge. Actually, I believe these two units are still elites, so he's still in the game. So here he goes, the 18th Regiment, and the Swiss Foot now pushing in. Actually, I'm not too sure. This might just be just the tips, so not too sure at this point. I think it is just the tips. I might be mistaken, but most likely not. So right now, we got the German Fusiliers engaging the Swiss Foot. This unit is getting obliterated right now. Double teamed, but that artillery is helping them out drastically. You see the lights are now in melee combat. That is not good at all. They are upgraded, but it's still going to cost them a lot of lives. And you see the Grenzers did end up retreating. That is a shame. and you can see the flank is starting to collapse, and he still has a lot of reserves left, so not looking good for us at all. We're going to have to think of something to try and win this battle, but with, you know, losing pretty much every advantage, it is definitely a struggle. We still hold the light advantage, but only by a couple units, actually 1 unit. And actually going to be charged into once again. You can see these opponents have some excellent micro, very well skilled in Napoleon Total Wars, so it is definitely a challenge facing them. They're going to be charging into the Grenzers. Grenzers, no match, and looks like the Austrian general trying to die for his own men right now, keeping the 18th Regiment away from his troops. Artillery still exploding, but once again another general is dead, and that is going to heavily influence the morale of these Austrians. So with no general for the Austrians, their backbone is pretty much gone now. Don't have any support really. They're low on numbers, but somehow their morale is still good, you know, at least on the right flank. But the general's unit still manages to survive. They did not break, but I'm sure some of these stray volleys will... Yep, there goes one guy. So these guys are gonna break. Guy got shot off the horse and being dragged across the sand. What a way to go out. Look at him ragdolling. Him and his horse are going to go see the pyramids. That's good. So down to our final 4 units. Pretty obvious to see the results here. And a very, very good game. I think everyone during this battle did a fantastic job. And my artillery is still glitched. I do get the occasional volleys off, but for the most part, these guys are just chilling here and having a good time watching their fellow Austrians die. You can see them in the distance. The French are coming, and they are definitely outnumbered 6 to I don't know how many. Look at them over there. What a glorious battle. A lot of reserves here, though, for the French. They're going to be pushing up. So it looks like the French general's finally going to see some action here. We got some artillery now coming in. Nice way to open up an engagement. So here comes the general crossing the hill. My guys do end up breaking, seeing that. And they are going to rout from the battlefield. You can see not in top condition for running, but the game is over and they do get saved. So looking at the stats, you can see I took a lot of losses, almost 1,500 losses. I killed 1,200, so not bad, but I did go negative. Now for my opponent, Elite, he also did go negative, so that was pretty interesting to see, but it was not as severe. We took about the same amount of losses, but he did, you know, have a pretty decent sized margin between kills. As for Just the Tip and Caleb, you can see Caleb with 900 kills and Just the Tip with 1,000. So once again, very close, but when things started to shift was the losses. You see Caleb lost almost 1,300, as to where Tip only lost about 800, so that's a 500-man gap. As for kills, Foot Guards on top, I did have them in reserve, so they were able to survive a little bit more throughout the battle, and with their, you know, better morale, they were able to stick in and fight for a longer time period. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, go check out Elite's channel. I will link it in the description. Really good guy, and I just go sub to him. It'll make mine and his day. But that is pretty much it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Control